Hi everyone. I wanted to do a little information session specific to people who do shift work. Um, the essential oils, there's basically oils for everything and every application. And so this is just another one. And I thought I'd kind of zone in and talk about this on its own. I do live with a shift worker, and that's kind of what inspired me to do this. There's so many different ways we could be naturally caring for ourselves to just help enhance our own experience and our own processes in the body, just to give you any boost that you can when you're in a job that is demanding, such as working shift. It's very, very taxing and stressful on your body, just with having the shift aspect, on top of whatever it is your occupation is. So I just want to briefly talk about the essential oils in case there's some new people here listening in. Essential oils are becoming mainstream, and you can virtually find them in every store shelf, including ones like, let's just say, hardware stores. I won't say any names in particular. So when it comes to being an informed consumer, essential oils are no different than a lot of things. You really want to know what you're getting, especially if it doesn't matter if you're even just using them as an air freshener. Like, a lot of people might think that that's just what they are. There are a lot of studies done out there, and unfortunately, because the essential oil industry is not regulated, up to as much as 80% of essential oils that are on the store shelves are not pure, they are not therapeutic grade, and they are not, and they might be adulterated, meaning that they've been tampered with, and I don't mean tampered with in the way of somebody's, let me just clarify what I meant there. What they might have on the package that they're actually pure and organic, but really what's inside the bottle is not what it says. They've been stretched, they've been added, maybe they add some other kind of oil to it to make it go further, to make it smell the same. There's a lot of different things, unfortunately, that some companies do to make their oils. In the end, it's just production costs and cheaper, unfortunately. And some of the ingredients are toxic to us. They are dangerous. They should not be put on our bodies. As far as that goes, that's pretty much in line with a lot of the personal care products that are on the store shelves, and or the cleaning products that we find on our store shelves as well. There's many harmful ingredients that when a lot of people find out about what's in some of these products, a lot of people are taken aback, because a lot of us trust that companies have consumers and their safety in mind, and a lot of them don't. It's their bottom line and the amount of money they want to make. So doTERRA oils. doTERRA is the largest essential oil company on the planet. They have 7 million accounts, customers, and growing. It's hard to explain them in a few short minutes. They are doing what no other essential oil company on the planet is doing in terms of improving the culture of this industry, and really creating safe, pure, therapeutic grade oils that are backed by research. This is if somebody thinks that oils there's nothing about research and how do they work and all this kind of stuff. If you know anybody that's into biology, chemistry, this is all about that. There's lots of science, there's lots of research, and more coming, because a lot of people do want to know how they work and prove it. So Yeah, so doTERRA, they have, I'll just tell you that they're the purest, most effective oils that you're going to find um, on the planet, hands down. And that being said, also along with just the oils that they produce, that every single batch over and over again consistently. And that's why a lot of researchers work, any company or any university or hospital doing any research finds and uses doTERRA oils because they are so pure, potent, and consistent. They can count on them for doing research studies. So all that aside, how do they work in our bodies? Our cells, the cells in our bodies and the cells in plants are very similar. So in essence, when all essential oils that come from plants and all the different parts of plants, they are in effect the immune system of plants. The plant uses these essential oils for attracting pollinators, and in large just for preventing disease in the plant, that kind of thing. So it's really neat that our bodies and our cells recognize these oils and readily and use them to our advantage. And the really neat thing about the oils is they do not leave us groggy. We cannot build up a tolerance to them. In most cases, there's very, very few, people aren't often allergic, or there's very few reactions to oils because there is no plant proteins. Now, that being said, if somebody has an allergy to a plant, you'd want to test a very small amount on you before you ever used it on your skin. But for the most part, people are not sensitive or allergic to them just because that they are natural versus a lot of the synthetic chemical type ingredients that a lot of people are sensitive to, because our bodies actually can't recognize and don't know what to do with a lot of the synthetic ingredients. So the oils are used by our bodies quite easily, and they're metabolized very easily and leave the body quite quickly. So one thing I do want to say right now before I forget, and while I'm thinking about it, is when people are wondering, like, how do I know the oils are working? How do I use them? And I'll save a lot of that stuff for, if you're interested in getting started and using them and trying them. We can talk about that later. But basically, you're going to know if they're working by how you feel. It's one of those things. They're different than just using synthetic drugs or a pill that just masks a symptoms or numbs something out so that you don't feel it anymore, or just numbs out a symptom. With the oils, you take them and you actually check in. You have to check in and be conscious and find out, and see how you're feeling, and you'll know if you're feeling better, that they're working. You'll know if you have more energy, that they're working. You'll know that you're sleeping deeply, sleeping better, that they're working. So that's what you do. That's how easy it is. So let's switch gears a little bit and start talking about specifically if you are a shift worker or living with a shift worker. And I have never worked shift. I only maybe 1 week in my entire life when I started out as an X-ray technologist, and that didn't last long as I ended up working day shifts. So I can only imagine how difficult it is to get used to that switching into night mode, being awake during night mode when our bodies want to sleep. So just to help with the stress of the body, that's number one, to make sure your stress levels are being looked after. And that's so important for so many different functions in our bodies, right from hormones to for sleeping. Just it affects everything. Stress, they say, is one of the most common causes for dis-ease in our bodies. And of course there's other causes, but stress is a huge one. So there's several natural ways you can assist and support your body so that the stress levels are in check, that you are not in fight and flight any more than you have to be. So there's lots of oils that can address stress. And so that's number one, to know what how you are that way. And then there's other things besides just taking oils or other natural supplements for your body. Just, looking up breathing. It seems kind of silly, trying to learn how to breathe properly or breathe out of stress, but what our breathing signals to our body what's going on. So that's often how our internal and our brain, the internal system, knows what's going on externally. Is when you see something, I'll just use the old one that keeps getting used over and over again. If we see that saber-toothed tiger running at us, our eyes are going to see it first. And you start freaking out and knowing that you've got to be put into 100% of your energy is going to be put into running the opposite way and getting the heck out of that guy's view. So what happens is when you start that whole process, what's going to happen is your breathing is going to start increasing, and that's signaling to your body, there's some danger here. So when you sit down and take some time, 2 or 3 times a day, if you need to, and even practice what's called 5-5-5 breathing. That one's just simple and easy to use and easy to remember. You breathe in for the count of 5, you hold for the count of 5, and you breathe out slowly for the count of 5. It's even better if you can breathe out and make it last longer, because again, what you're doing is signaling to the body that you're safe and you're breathing in that manner. So taking those breaks throughout the day can really signal to the body just that it's safe, you're okay, the cortisol levels and the adrenaline can settle down and give yourself a little bit of a break from the stress. What I do sometimes is those breathing timeouts, and then to add in an oil that also signals to the body and indicates that you're safe, and just some relaxing signals to the body too, that can really be a great addition to the breathing as well. Something else that a lot of us have a tricky time doing is staying hydrated, especially with people who enjoy caffeinated beverages and drinking alcohol. Staying hydrated when you're using any of those other substances, whatever. I was going to try to come up with something else. You have to actually drink a lot more water to stay hydrated, because a lot of those are diuretic, so they're going to make you actually lose fluid. So staying hydrated is really important too for your cells. And let's see here, do I have something on that? Just drinking plenty of fluid here. It says as dehydration can reduce both your mental and physical performance. So you want to be staying hydrated. You don't want to be in a dehydrated state, because that's not going to help your performance at all, mentally and physically. So that's just something to keep in mind. Make sure that you are hydrating properly. And if you're in a state or you feel like maybe you haven't been hydrating as well as you maybe could, it does take apparently some time to get that built back up. So it's something to just make sure you have a system that you know that you're getting your fluids in. And I'll just flip into diet here too. So this is just a little bit extra stuff. Diet, as you are probably all aware, but sometimes we all need to have a little bit of a reminder. Diets are so important. I'll just read a little bit here. That was a bit of a tip for the diet and shift working. It's saying here, just to remember the importance in considering the timing and quality of your meals. Digestive problems are common in shift workers due to the disruption of the body clock and poor diet. So it's saying to plan your meals to help you stay alert at work, and then to relax when you actually need to rest. So you're not going to be wanting to have a great big meal right before you sleep, or else you are not going to sleep well. I think a lot of us have experienced that. And then it's saying too, like the regular light meals and snacks are less likely to affect your alertness, because if you're wanting to stay alert at work, you also don't want those great big heavy meals either, because they make us tired. Digesting food is actually takes a lot more energy sometimes than what you actually get out of the food. So just light meals, food that's really easy to digest. You might want to stay away from it says the fatty, spicy, heavy meals, sugary foods, and I'm a sugar addict, so yeah, that's a tough one. Avoiding the sugary foods and the junk food. They might give you a short-term energy boost, but they do leave us depleted or a dip in your energy level too. So as much green as you can get in, fruits and veggies, they're always going to be your best bet for your energy levels, and great, because then you'll be getting your vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which are only going to help you also perform better. So let's see here. One thing too that I was seeing, a lot of people, and I totally get this, so it's not, this is something that has to be a personal choice, but when it comes to stimulants and sedatives, it can be such an easy cycle to get into, especially if you're not sure or you've never come across any other alternative to help you. That whole cycle of getting into the pharmaceutical or the synthetics, something to stimulate you to stay awake, and then something to sedate you when you want to go to sleep. And again, no judgment. This is something I totally feel, when you're working shift and potentially in a stressful job, yeah, I get that people have got to do what they have to do to get those hours of sleep. Unfortunately, though, when people turn to stimulants, and that might include coffee, cigarettes, or who knows what else, or even and then get into the alcohol and potentially sleeping pills to go to sleep. They're just saying here to avoid such aids, as they only have short-term effects on alertness, and actually we can become tolerant to these things, so they don't work. You might need actually a lot more in time for your body to not become tolerant to them. And the other thing as well, people can get dependent on these as well. So if you're a coffee drinker, there's just saying, if you have a coffee, and I think probably a lot of people, this is common sense, have your caffeine at the start of your shift and then avoid it afterwards, so that when it comes time to sleeping that you can. And if you can use it occasionally, but I totally get being addicted to things too. So, and then the alcohol thing too, as much as some people might find you relax and get a little drowsy, alcohol does not promote sleeping deeply, and apparently a lot of studies have been done too, and people wake up a lot sooner and have not got into that deep sleep, and get disrupted sleep patterns with the use of alcohol too, and some drugs. So that's where, if you can find something that works for you that's natural, your body just doesn't have all that to have to deal with. You're not groggy, you don't become tolerant, you don't become addicted to these types of things. And that's where, if you find something that works, it can be really beneficial to you. So, and then another thing before I just get into the actual, some oils and some things to try, just winding down, this is whether you are a shift worker or not, but especially if you are and you're sleeping at different times of the days, just having your room set up so that it's a very calm and peaceful environment. And again, it's kind of signaling to your body when it's time to sleep. Maybe you have some habits, like you read a little bit, just to kind of shift your mind into that kind of settling down mode. And whether you put earplugs in and cover your eyes up, I'm somebody who doesn't like light at all. Or maybe you have just a warm bath, not too hot. Warm bath or warm shower right before you go to bed too. Anything just to relax you. There's a ton of meditations and stuff like that, just stuff you can listen to that might help you zone out and just fall asleep too. I find those really help me as well. And so let's switch gears a little bit, and just some different ideas specific more to what I know about with the oils. And this is something that there's many different levels that you can dive in and try. I would say, if I was suggesting to somebody some things to use, I might say that one thing minimum I would really like to see people try is doTERRA has a package of supplements called the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and it's 3 bottles. And what it is it's your vitamins and minerals, which again, it's supplementing, so it's just kind of extra insurance that you're getting the nutrients that you need for your body to perform at its best. And you're getting your vitamins, your minerals, you're getting essential fatty acids in there. And then the other one is a bottle of, basically what it is antioxidants, which and anti-inflammatories. And in this combination, there's a lot of amazing ingredients. There are also some essential oils that help with your digestion. So when it was saying about with shift working, a lot of people, their digestion can be off. So this helps, the supplements help support your digestion. There's also essential oils in it that are really great to calm and relax and just support your cells and your and just stress in the body, whether it's free radical stress, oxidative stress, or just plain daily stress. It's just such a great basis to start with. Some people find with the Lifelong Vitality Pack that they actually have better sleep. And if you're somebody who has pain, aches and pains as well, just because they're so anti-inflammatory, a lot of people find they really help with pain as well. And if you have any pain, and you help that, take care of that, that can also help with your sleep too. That makes sense. So I like talking about the Lifelong Vitality Pack because if you've never tried it before, again, a lot of people notice a huge difference when they're on them. Your energy levels are better, your sleep can be better, your pain decreases, and it's actually guaranteed. You can try them for 30 days and they're money back guaranteed, so there is absolutely no risk in trying them. So that is a really good place to start. And then you can just move up from there. There are, what I would really suggest for people is that there's 2 oils in particular that I would start with as well. One is called Balance, and what it does is it's a grounding blend, and it's just great for everyday stress, just to keep us in balance, grounded, and less of the fight and flight. Balance can be used morning and night, so it can help you through your day, plus it can help you for when you go to bed as well. So that's a really cool part about the oils. And you can use them several times through the day as well. You can take these with you and use them throughout your day. So Balance is one, and Serenity is another one. So again, if you are somebody who's anxious, if you are finding, you need to be calmed down through the day, Serenity is something you can use through the day too. But it's also something more calming for at night when you're getting ready to settle down. And these are oils that you can either roll on you. You can just smell them from the bottle. They're going to work just as well. People have diffusers, and they can be a really great addition to your home because you can get the oils into the air, say in your bedroom. You might have Serenity going in your bedroom for when you're ready to go to sleep, and you might have Balance or another oil out in your living area just to help, throughout the day too. You can use this again in several different ways to help support your body. So the Balance and the Serenity are a great addition as well to the Lifelong Vitality Pack, just for overall stress and calming. And there's many things that they're good for. And again, we can get into that more if anyone's interested. We have great handbooks that give us lots of information on what the oils do and how you can use them. There is also something called, and I wanted to just mention too, along with the Serenity, it's an oil that you can, again, put in your diffuser or put on you as well, just to help your body settle down. And they also, doTERRA has come out with Serenity gel caps. So they're a little bit different than the oil, but you can take those at night about 30 minutes before you go to sleep. And again, they help settle you down. People also use things like that Calm, I think it's called Calm Magnesium, and you can get that at the Fine Feta at the health food store. And magnesium is also really great for our nervous systems, and apparently we can't get enough of it. So that's another thing that I just do every night before I go to bed, is take some of the magnesium and the Serenity capsules, and anything else natural. Maybe have a warm bath again, read a book, and signal to the body that, yeah, you're getting ready to sleep. So that can all be beneficial. And again, all these things support your body naturally. They're metabolized easily, and you cannot build up tolerance, and you do not wake up groggy. So there's something that you can try. But this, so that's more nighttime and calming and helping with the stress. Throughout the day, when you need to be a little bit more energized, there's tons of oils, tons of things that you can try. But one thing that I would suggest and highlight would be something called a Mito 2 Max. And it is a doTERRA product, and it's an energy and stamina complex. So I'm just going to read a little bit. It's a proprietary formula of plant extracts and metabolic cofactors that support healthy cellular energy production. So it supports optimal mitochondrial function and aerobic capacity, and it's helpful for your stamina in a natural way. So there's no harmful stimulants in this, and it's great to use this Mito 2 Max as a healthy long-term alternative to caffeinated drinks and supplements for increased energy and vitality. So that can just be used by anybody. And I've had people who go to their night shift and actually take their Mito 2 Max during their shift, and have noticed a difference through the night with their energy levels. And as well, this is something too that I'm kind of crossing over, but a lot of people are taking care of themselves and do a lot of workouts, exercise type of thing. And the Mito 2 Max, I've had people use that, and a noticeable difference in their energy levels as they're working out as well. There's so many tips and tricks. I just have one little tip here that for extra energy, cinnamon and peppermint in a veggie cap. Like, there's so many things that can support your body that way naturally. And I don't know if you've ever smelled peppermint, but very energizing, uplifting. And yeah, so there's lots of tips and tricks. I'm just going to leave that there. And what I'm going to do is create just some different packages, just some different levels of where you might start and what it might look like. And if you're interested, I can send those out to you, and please message me if you'd like more information. I hope you found this helpful, and yeah, I hope to talk to you soon.